Hi, I'm Deanna with Positive Action Ministry, and today I'll be teaching about Job 33. And as Brandon wanted to know who was speaking, or Jonathan, I'm sorry, Elihu, and I am curious what you guys remember about him, like how you would describe him maybe to someone else. Whoever, I can't see the hand over on the left.
It's me.
Brandon.
It's me. It's me, actually. It's me. It's me, not me.
Was it him?
Okay, go ahead, Brandon. Say something that you learned about him.
Oh, that he is the younger of all the friends here. That he'd been silently listening this whole time, and that well, he'll say a couple of things about himself. Do you want me to mention that too, or?
About what?
And he says that we're equals in this conversation. I'm impartial.
Okay, fair enough. How would you describe him? Who was you said that was Teal Renee behind you, Jonathan?
Ralph. Ralph.
Oh, Teal Ralph.
Yeah, so he said that he's been listening all this time, but he didn't speak because out of respect, but he mentioned that you all doesn't mean that you have wisdom, So
Yes.
yeah.
He's very bold and confident because he's young, right? And but some people might just say he's very verbose because it took him a long
Yeah.
time and lots of verses to tell that. He's focused on bringing God's justice and he wants to like teach and kind of correct, right? Like he thinks that he has a better answer to this than Job's friends.
But what it seems that he was very educated because the way he speaks, so to being so young and being so wise, I guess he was an educated young man.
Yeah, he was.
And
Yes, but he was young compared to the others. That's why he didn't want to speak.
He come from the elite.
Perhaps.
Then he was different than. Oh no, well, yeah, you got it.
Who is Elihu comparing himself to? And then he kind of like he says he's the same as what? And then he said he too is a piece of what?
Oh, who he compared to?
Yes.
Don't he say about like snow and water?
To Job.
Oh, he says he's the same as
Job.
what?
Job. He's
Yes.
the same as Job.
He says I'm the same as you.
Made out of clay. A piece of clay.
Yes. Thank you, Jonathan. He says he's the same as Job in God's sight. He's just a piece of clay, right? For God to mold, for him to teach. So what did Elihu say he heard Job say himself, but wasn't actually true?
That I mean that Job was saying that no Elihu was saying that Job was saying God was not fair to him, which is it was judgmental of God, and then Elihu disagree with that,
Well, we know that
Okay. Anyone else have thoughts on that question?
I think he said something along like you're expecting God to respond, or you accuse God of being silent, but God does talk to us.
Yeah.
Before that, he says, "I've heard you say these words."
That he's like, basically that he's without.
It's unfair.
But he's saying that Job said that himself is just, like he didn't do anything wrong to deserve this.
Yeah. In particular, though, what I was looking for is that he said that Job said, "I'm clean and I'm free from sin." And Job did say certain things about himself that like he was a just man, but he never said like he was sinless, right? That he didn't have any transgressions. But he did claim that like he was an upright and righteous man in God's eyes, that he didn't feel like he was out doing wrong all the time, but never claimed that he was free from sin. What does Elihu tell Job about how God speaks to folks? How can God speak to different people that they mentioned in this chapter?
Through dreams.
Through dreams? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some other ways? Did you have one, Titi? Did you raise your hand or no?
Messengers.
Messengers? Good.
Angels?
Yeah, an angel could be a messenger. Dreams, visions. He also said he might send messages through suffering or affliction, right?
Yeah.
God certainly spoke to Job through that great angel called Satan, who allowed him to touch his skin.
Yeah.
And what do you think it was that Elihu was trying to tell Job about why his sufferings occurred?
Uh, what I understood from reading this chapter 33, Deanna, is that Elihu is telling uh, Job that suffering and sickness, that you go through that, but that God might be trying to restore him, even though if you go through suffering and sickness.
Yes, yes. So Elihu says that perhaps God gave him physical suffering to like talk to him. That's another part, restore him to send him like different messages. But he's not necessarily specifically saying like you sinned and that's just exactly why it's happening, but more so looking at it from a perspective of like maybe God is using this as some type of affliction to make you change or what have you, right?
Elihu was not hard on Joe, like he didn't treat like trash like his friend, He likes
He tried to do it respectfully.
he had respect.
Oh, yeah, that's true because he did it in a respectful way because he was talking from a man of God point of view. Uh, but I still got the impression that he thought that yes, Jobs was guilty too.
Yeah, so there are definitely there was a part in the David Gusick interpretations where it talked about like the fact that some of the interpreters are saying, well, he's just saying the same thing that his friends are, but just verbalizing it differently. And then the other part of the interpretation was more so what I had just mentioned, which is that he
Well, well,
says that, but he also says it's more of a way for God to possibly restore him or send him messages through different ways that it might not just solely be because he's sinned.
yeah, so why he's saying that, oh, I'm trying to, God trying to correct something, make a correction, and that's why you go through sickness, suffering, God to get you out of the pit, just to restore you at the end, that's why he's saying. I mean, I think it was different than his Joe's friends talk, they accused him of being a sinner,
Yeah, he
this
was
is different.
he was more political in what he says
Okay.
and
And
stated more kindly.
sure. And God, in the chapter, it says God does all these things to a person blank to blank times. How
One
many
to
times? What'd you say, John?
1 to 3.
Close, 2 to 3.
Oh, 2 to 3.
That's twice, even 3 times. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of that part. And then the takeaways I'd put is God speaks to us in many different ways.
Yeah.
It also talked about God not owing explanations. I didn't really ask any questions about that, but it says like God doesn't owe us any explanations for what happens. And then God's desire always for us is not to condemn us, but to restore us, right? Sometimes it takes Him speaking to us through different ways. All right. Any other comments?
No.
All right.
So one more thing, Diana, that I remember that when I was reading this, the interpretation of that, he said that no man is better than God. That God is perfect. I
Right.
guess he was talking to Job about that. That God is perfect. He don't do things because he want to hurt you or anything. He only has a plan for everything.
Yep.